friends in the interwebs, Joy here with subrosatea.com. How is everyone today? This afternoon I used our tea to color Easter eggs. Aren't they beautiful? So in today's video I'm going to talk about 11 different loose leaf tea, and I'm going to talk about matcha as well, and how absolutely easy it is to be able to make your own tea dyed Easter eggs. Those of you who are here, thank you so much for joining me. I love it when you're on time. I'm so sorry if I was late, technical challenges. I am a person who works completely by themselves. So I've got a camera in front of me and a laptop and of course all this good stuff, all this tech. Sometimes it just doesn't want to work out. But thanks for your patience. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of you for coming. Today I am going to talk about some flavors of tea that you might not have heard me talk about before. So make sure you tune in to that. And those of you, if there is no red above my head, that simply means you're watching it on the replay. Feel free to use the hashtag replay and shop as you normally would. Again, my name is Joy. I'm the owner of Sub Rosa Tea. We're a small company based in Northern Ohio and we'll ship anywhere in the United States. If you are new and you're watching on Instagram or YouTube, you should see above my head some words. You can enjoy 15% off your first in-app purchase when you download our mobile shopping app. If you cannot see those words above my head and you can't actually see the Easter eggs on my kitchen counter, please tap my nose. It'll expand the video till your full viewing screen. You should be able to see words above my head and of course these great teas. I am going to talk to you about the teas and of course how easy it is to make colored Easter eggs. Hello to everyone. Hi Wendy, Elizabeth, and Vanessa. Thanks for watching it. Tiffany says that she's really glad that I'm going to talk about matcha today, and I am. And for those of you who want a deeper dive into any of these teas, we do have a YouTube channel. You should be able to search for Sub Rosa Tea, find our channel, and then once you're there, search for the topic that interests you. I've been in business now almost 10 years, and I have done an awful lot of videos. I think there's only 100 on YouTube, but I've done far more than that. So we do deeper dives. You're going to see literally all of the teas I'm talking about today have wonderful health benefits. I'm going to gloss over the health benefits because we're having fun today with Easter eggs, but I do a deeper dive in many videos. So stick with me or you can catch them over on YouTube. Hey there, Marilyn. Thanks for joining us. I love how many people are watching today. Thank you, friends. It really does mean a lot to me. I really do appreciate it. Let's dive in. First up, smash that like button. Who has ever dyed an Easter egg? How about that? Have you ever colored an Easter egg? I'm pretty sure most people have. It is definitely one of those very easy things. Hi Karen, watching on Facebook. Thanks for that. Have you ever dyed an Easter egg? I definitely did as a child, but I never used tea. I just started that process because it is so fun. Does anybody have a favorite color here? Can you see all of them? In my screen, it looks like you absolutely can, that I have the lights on bright enough. I hope that there's no glare. I think you can see that we have blues and greens. We have oranges, tans, browns, yellow, but no pink. Does that surprise anybody? For those of you that don't know, we're an all-natural tea company, so there's nothing artificial. I am known for my sugar-free blends. Our tea is grown organically, but again, we don't use anything artificial, nothing chemical. So if there is a color to the tea, which you're going to see in the video, all the teas I use do have a very bright, a vibrant color to them. It's all natural, and I'm going to try to explain that my best as things go. Aren't these just beautiful blues and greens? I just think they're outstanding, and they're going to look good in anyone's basket, especially if you like your pastels. This is just gorgeous. Now again, I did do a variety and we're going to talk about them, but first off, I wanted to let you know the process in case you feel like doing this yourself. Of course, the tea is available on our website, and of course, you can buy it on our mobile shopping app. Right now, we are in the middle of our Spring into Easter collection. One of the teas actually made it in today's lineup. Who's gonna guess? Who's got a guess? We've got 6 flavors in the Spring into Easter combo pack. You're also gonna find those 6 flavors available in a bundle. We've got caramel Easter egg and hot cross buns, jelly beans and mango rose, peeps, and cherry clafou tea. Do you see any of those represented here? They are in a variety of ways. So I can't wait to show you all of those. But first off, I do want to talk to you about the eggs in case you want to do this yourself. First of all, you can dye both hard-boiled eggs and raw eggs. Like I said at the top of the video, I'm working solo today. So if I were to drop one of these eggs and it was raw, it could really make a mess. So I have only ever colored or tea dyed hard-boiled eggs. That has a lot to do with the video. You can do them raw, but I used hard-boiled. Also, I wanted to make sure that you knew that I did buy large size chicken eggs from the grocery store, and they are the color white. They all started as the color white. I think a lot of people know nowadays that you can get chicken eggs in just about every color of the rainbow. It is amazing how what a chicken eats can definitely affect the color of her eggs. But again, I started with the color white. Okay, has anybody watching live never hard-boiled an egg? Trust me, it is not that hard, but also it's not that easy. It's not as simple as it sounds, is it? You can bake them, you can fry them, you can steam them, you can boil them. So first of all, if you've ever baked an egg, definitely not hard, throw it into the oven. However, they're not my favorite to peel. Next off, the air fry method. Absolutely, nowadays, right? Everyone's using the air fryer. I tried it twice. When I put the eggs in my air fryer, I followed the online instructions and they did not taste good. The whites, pretty much the entire white part of the egg tasted terrible. It tasted rubbery to me. So if you've had luck with that, I'd really like to know below, how did you achieve a good air fried hard-boiled egg? Next up, my personal method. Right now, my personal favorite method is to steam the eggs. I do have a steamer basket for my big old stock pot. I happen to be Italian. I love to cook. I have every kitchen gadget known to man, but I'm one of those people, I do not like things that only do one thing. A steamer, that does a lot of things. Yes, it only steams, but technically I do use it for more than that. So steaming is my favorite, but I did want to give you a trick in case you don't have a steaming method. Online, if you try to find a recipe to boil your eggs, you can put the eggs in cold water in a stock pot and start from there. You can bring the water up to a boil while the eggs are already in. A lot of people prefer that method. I do not. I would prefer boiling water. So again, you need enough water in your stock pot to not only cover the egg, but to add 1 inch. 1 inch more than what you're going to need to cover your eggs. The reason I like starting from hot is my tip for easy peel. Not necessarily how to hard boil. Everyone can figure that part out, but my trick is to easy peel. If I'm going to eat these guys, I want those peels to come off. So, how to get the peels to come off? My recommendation is 2 tablespoons of baking soda and 1 teaspoon of salt to your big stock pot. Bring that up to a rolling bubble. Gently, very gently put those raw eggs into your hot water. Turn the heat down, put the lid on, set your timer for 15. As soon as that timer goes off at 15 minutes, you are going to want to scoop out those very hot eggs gently into an ice bath. Again, those of you who may not really be into cooking, you might not really know what an ice bath is. You're going to get either a glass or a stainless steel bowl, very, very, very cold water and ice. Definitely shocking those eggs at 15 minutes, and they're absolutely perfect. You will let those eggs chill out in the ice bath for quite some time. Again, my method for hard boiling eggs and tea dyeing requires everything to be at room temperature. So if you're going to do this, let's say tomorrow, you're going to make sure that you make your eggs early enough to not only chill them, but bring them back up to room temperature. That seems to be the best and the easiest for the tea dyeing method. Same with the tea. I made 12 different teas. Yes, I did. I happen to have that many teapots and cups and glasses and tea infusers. So when I made the tea for this method, we use boiling water. Boiling water across the board for every single tea dyed egg that you see here, boiling water. Also, we want to make sure that it's concentrated. So I used more tea to water ratio than you would typically for a cup of tea. In addition, so it's a tea concentrate, boiling water, and then I let it steep literally for 45 minutes. This is not one of those things that's labor intensive. Yeah, it might take some time in your kitchen, but I just set it and forget it. I read a book today in the sunshine. I didn't need to be here in the kitchen while all of this was happening. So the teas were set to steep for about 45 minutes. That let it steep hot and also cool down to room temperature. When it was room temperature, I added 1 tablespoon of distilled white vinegar and a 1/4 teaspoon salt per cup to each of these. So you can see that some of my tea, I only made a cup of liquid. The cup of liquid was enough to cover an egg because I only did 1 egg per color. Do you see what I mean? So very easy to do. Oh no. Elizabeth said, is there a way for subtitles or captions? Good question, Elizabeth. There may not be, but you can absolutely watch it on the replay. Also, Facebook. Facebook has a way to, you see the captions if you're watching it on Facebook. Just to make sure I answered that for you. I got that really cool. Okay, so 1 tablespoon distilled vinegar, a 1/4 teaspoon salt into your tea, and that's again per 1 cup. As you can see here, friends, this is our Classica teapot, which makes 4 cups. You can see I wound up using 2 cups of tea, so I doubled it. I made 2 cups of tea because I really wanted to make sure that the egg was covered, just because the vessel happened to be wider than a typical cup. All right, next up, white eggs. When you've got your white egg, and if you would like to have a design show through what you're going to do prior to putting it into your tea concentrate and your tea dye, is you can use melted coconut oil. In my mind, I'm trying to think, what do people have in their house? Would you have a wax pencil in your house? I don't have one of those things. I'd have to go buy it. Do I have coconut oil? Yes, I do. I do have coconut oil. So you're going to melt your coconut oil, and you can use a Q-tip. Again, I would think you might have a Q-tip, or of course a nice paintbrush, and you can paint a design onto your egg. Again, prior to putting it into the tea concentrate. When it comes out of the color where the coconut oil is, the color will not penetrate as much, so the design will come through. So it's almost a lighter color, or white will shine through past the color if you do the coconut oil method. Does that make sense? Okay, what else do I need to tell you? Okay, we've got everything at room temperature. Oh yes, I wanted to make sure, select your right vinegar. Oh yeah, and you know what? Again, it was a nice sunny day. Spring is finally in Ohio. You guys, it has been the longest winter here. We had sunshine today. Yes, it was far too cold for my liking, but we had sunshine. So, after the tea was steeped properly and brought to room temperature, I then put the eggs in, and again, I walked away. Now, in my day, I happen to have the eggs sit for 3 hours. It's what I had. Who cares? I don't care. Will it take longer? No. Will it take yet less? Really, it will. I checked the eggs at a half an hour just because I was walking through the kitchen, and the eggs were pretty much done at a half an hour. Was it less than that? Who knows? Honestly, I don't know. Maybe they would have been colored in 10 minutes. I don't know. But I love things that happen while they're not labor intensive. Well, I don't have to do it. That's awesome, right? Okay. Oh yes, if you are doing this, I wanted to make sure that you know that also you do need to leave time for them to dry. I had not dyed an Easter egg since I was a kid. It totally eluded me that they were going to be soaking wet when I got them out of the liquid, and kind of too wet for me to handle during a video. Does that make sense? So I did put them on a drying rack to pretty much cool, not cool, that doesn't make any sense, to just air dry. Let's put it that way. I didn't wipe them, if that makes sense. Okay, so they were wet. They had to dry first before I wanted to display them and touch them. All right, I got to make sure that I talk about the tea here, friends. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. I feel like I have a better handle of how many comments are on the screen today, but I am going to go through all of the tea. First up, for those of you that are new here, we do sell loose leaf tea, and we do sell it in 3 sizes. First up, friends, elderberry. Elderberry is first. That's this one here. This is by far the darkest blue. I'm going to say it's blue. I wouldn't say it's purple. I think a lot of people know what elderberries look like. They are very purple, a very dark purple berry. However, in this process, it definitely yielded a dark blue tea. It is, I would say, the darkest blue that we have here. It's absolutely beautiful. If you didn't know, elderberries are good for your immune system. Oh yes, Ty said I would have a hard time not wanting to stop drinking the tea. Definitely you would not want to drink the tea that we made due to the fact that we have vinegar and salt in it. Let me show you the elderberry. This is the elderberry. I don't know if you can see. I think in the camera all you're going to see is an inky black color, but it is the color of very dark purple. Very dark purple. I wouldn't really call it indigo though. We've got some other indigo colors over here. Let's see. Next up is hibiscus. If you didn't know, hibiscus is a flower. Hibiscus is known to help lower blood pressure, and this is hibiscus. This is a very greenish teal colored. It is gorgeous. I don't know if I have a favorite. I don't know how I could possibly pick a favorite. This is hibiscus. If you can't tell, there are little white speckles everywhere. This one in particular, hibiscus, let me show you. I used our Fuji glass teapot for that. If you're not familiar, the lid acts like a strainer. So here, what you're looking at, again, very dark red, purple color, just like the elderberry, but the tea is actually still in the pot. So as the egg rested on the tea leaves that are in the pot, it left white on the egg. I think that's cool. I love a speckled egg. I just think that's fabulous. But that does lead me to remind you that if you are going to use a smaller vessel, less liquid, wherever the egg is touching something else, it may not color properly for you. Honestly, I'm just having fun. I feel like this is not Pinterest. If you wanted perfect, you would be on Pinterest. This is real life. This is what really happened. These are the fabulous things that I happen to have in my kitchen. And so it's turned out this way, and I'm perfectly pleased with it. It's not really an art project. It's more of a science project, which I think is totally fun. Next up, jelly beans. Next up is jelly beans. Jelly beans is part of our Spring into Easter collection, and oddly, it is the only tea that I use today that is part of the Spring into Easter collection. This is a green tea, so it's low in caffeine, high in antioxidants, lots of fruit in the jelly beans. It definitely tastes nice and sweet like a handful of jelly beans, and can you tell that it is lighter than the hibiscus, but it's really not that far off. It's a gorgeous blue-green color, turquoise or teal. Very, very fun. Next up, I think you guys are just going to be so shocked at the next one, Cranberry Harvest. Cranberry Harvest is next. It is completely caffeine free. That is this guy here. Again, this is a very red tea. It does have cranberries and apples and hibiscus. It's a very, very red tea. However, it produced this guy here. Who knows why? Who knows why the Cranberry Harvest did not produce a red colored egg? I just said it. Did anyone catch it? I know somebody caught it. The Cranberry Harvest has hibiscus. So the cranberries and the apples are not actually tea. They're fruit, of course, but that hibiscus flower is nice and gorgeous, and it lent itself to coloring our Easter egg. Next up, strawberry moringa. Strawberry moringa. Strawberry moringa. Let's see, I've got that one too. So this one is not as red as the Cranberry Harvest. It's not as deep. I would say this is more the color of strawberry. I picked this tea specifically because it has beetroot in it, and I wanted a pink egg. Guess what, friends? The tea does not have that much beetroot in it. I think sometimes when you are online and all you have to go with is my ingredients, what I've listed there. You can't really taste it. It's an online listing, and you might see something like beetroot and think, oh, I don't like that. I wouldn't like it in my tea. Let me tell you, the people who have tried strawberry moringa love it. We happen to wholesale to coffee shops, and people who just order tea at a coffee shop order strawberry. They don't really know what the other ingredients are. They love the tea. But this tea, like I said, it did not have enough beetroot to turn my egg pink. If you didn't know, moringa has a lot of iron and magnesium, tons of health benefits. It's completely caffeine free, so you might want to give it a try. Hi, Elizabeth. Next up, friends, Polyjuice Potion. Polyjuice Potion. Who remembers what Polyjuice is? A lot of you came to me new from the Harry Potter collection this year. This is Polyjuice Potion. Again, I'm so sorry if you can't see it, but there's little drops on my teapot. This is a very blue tea. It is an inky purple right now, again, because it was over steeped, over concentrated, and I added the vinegar. Does that make sense? But it does make the most blue, beautiful egg I have ever seen. I have to say I don't have a favorite, but oh, this Polyjuice Potion egg is really, really beautiful. If you are thinking about a pastel Easter basket, highly recommend. If you can spare the Polyjuice Potion. Who remembers why? Why is Polyjuice blue? Who remembers? It is one of those really fun ingredients that we use here at Sub Rosa Tea. The Polyjuice Potion does taste like peach. Polyjuice Potion in the Harry Potter series doesn't taste very good, but our tea does taste like peach. And the tea has butterfly pea flower. It makes the tea turn blue. And if you add lemon to the tea, the color of the tea will turn color, which is absolutely so fun. May not work so well with your Easter eggs, but it is really fun in general. And it tastes good too. Next up, breakfast blend. Breakfast blend is up next. This is a completely black tea. So it is called Salon. Let me show you. This is our breakfast blend. Nice and amber brown color. If you've ever ordered tea in a restaurant, like just tea, this is most likely what they gave you, especially if it's a like an iced tea. Again, this is our breakfast blend. It is a Salon. It's an orange peacoat, if you know what that is. And this is our breakfast blend. And again, I think it turns the color of the tea. So it's definitely a red, brown, amber color. Definitely tons of fun. It's gorgeous. In my hand, my egg looks like the images of Saturn. Do you know what I mean? Like with some sand dunes and some wind and all kinds of fun things. It's a really beautiful egg. As I twirled it while it was sitting in the cup of tea, and of course, like I said, there is both salt and vinegar. So where the salt kind of laid on the egg, it did not color it quite so much. All right. Tiffany said, my husband just said we have to dye the eggs with the tea this year. I love his support. Oh my gosh, Tiffany, thank you for sharing. Oh, that is so sweet. Always good to hear, right? Always good to hear. Next up, it's Rooibos. Rooibos, friends. Rooibos is known as the red tea. Again, we have a nice brown amber to the tea color. The tea plant is breakfast blend. That's Ceylon. That's the actual tea plant. But Rooibos, the tea that we're talking about today, right now, this is the Rooibos. The Rooibos is known as the red tea. It grows in South Africa. It's an herbal. There's no actual tea in Rooibos. It's a completely different plant. It's known to be good for headaches, inflammation, and insomnia. So we have many, many, many flavors of Rooibos tea in our inventory. This one, I did just use the plain Rooibos. And for a comparison here, this was the breakfast blend, and this is the Rooibos. So they look very, very similar, and to me that kind of just cracks me up. They are completely two different plants. Again, black tea has caffeine. Rooibos, no caffeine whatsoever. Awesome, right? Gotta love it. Health benefits and all the great taste. The cherry clafou tea in our current spring into Easter collection, it's a Rooibos, so give it a try. Next up, we have got triple root. Triple root. Next up, friends, triple root. Triple root is sarsaparilla, turmeric, and ginger root. Again, 3 roots. Ginger, sarsaparilla, turmeric. These things are all good for your joint mobility. The tea also has peppercorns in it. The peppercorns allow for better absorption of the nutrients from those 3 roots. So, if you don't know what turmeric looks like, it is a very bright, very loud colored yellow. This is our tea. So it is quite yellow. It is very light colored. It's gorgeous, but it has other ingredients as well. That's why it's not shockingly yellow as if you were just having turmeric. There's more to it than that. So the triple root is here. This is a very beautiful tan color. Again, this did not turn out to be shocking yellow because it has so many other ingredients in the tea. And again, keeping in mind that I did add the vinegar and the salt to the tea in order to tea dye these eggs. Next up, this is probably the one that shocks me the most. This is Sencha. If you're not familiar with Sencha, this is the type of green tea that we sell. So the tea plant comes from black. It produces black, purple, oolong, green, white, yellow teas. Those are all variants of the tea that come from the same tea plant. Grows in multiple countries, grows at different elevation. It's harvested and processed differently. That's how we get so many variations from one plant. Sencha is the type of green tea that we sell, plain green tea. It is also the type of green tea I use predominantly for our blends. I just mentioned the jelly beans. That's a green tea. It has Sencha in it. Friends, this is Sencha. This is green tea. It is the brightest yellow egg that I produced today. It's plain green tea. There's no other ingredients. Okay, it's just Sencha. This is not Sencha like with lemon or something that you would assume to be yellow to give it this color. This is literally just the tea. Let me show you. This is the Sencha steeped. I don't know what angle is best for all of you to see it, so I just kind of move it. And I know I have a light ring, there's probably a glare, but this is what plain green tea looks like steeped up. It is a light green to yellow in color. Green tea is very low in caffeine, very high in antioxidants. It is by far one of my favorites to drink cold. It really does steep up really, really well cold. Next up, Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel is next. Hansel and Gretel is part of our fairy tale tea collection. We have 6 completely caffeine-free teas in the fairy tale collection, and if you didn't know, tea that doesn't have the tea plant in it is technically called an herbal. So this tea, again, Hansel and Gretel, has no tea in it. No tea plant. This is Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel is filled with fabulous ingredients. This tea still smells, even though it's been like 5 hours. This tea it smells so fabulous. I love it. Again, I worked with this one today because it has beetroot in it. So again, I was hoping for a pink egg. Did I get myself a pink egg, friends? No, I did not. This is nice and tan, as a matter of fact. The Hansel and Gretel has apple and pineapple, big pieces of cinnamon stick. It even has popcorn. It's really one of those fun flavors. I kind of created it based on if you were to make a gingerbread house as a child, what would you have in your kitchen and you'd want to put on the outside of your gingerbread house. You know, that's just my crazy brain, what I was thinking and how I got all those ingredients in there, but it doesn't have enough beetroot to make my egg pink. Last but certainly not least, thanks for hanging out, we have got matcha. Matcha, friends, is a powder. So it does come from the same exact tea plant as we get our tea. However, matcha is made by stripping the leaves. Well, we take the leaves and we strip out the veins and the stems. So then the leaf itself is ground into a powder. So when you are enjoying matcha powder, technically you're enjoying the whole leaf. So it has been said that matcha has 10 to 15 times more the antioxidants than just regular old loose leaf tea. So I did take a whole rounded tablespoon of matcha. I put it into the bottom of this Classica glass teapot. Then I poured just a little bit of boiling water on top of the matcha powder, and I used my bamboo whisk, which we do sell if you need them. The bamboo whisk, and you whisk like a W, okay? Not around in a circle because you're just going to be chasing the powder around your teapot. You use the bamboo whisk as a W or M shape to whisk the powder into a paste. Then you can fill up the rest of your vessel with hot water to make tea that you would drink. Again, we're not drinking this. This is our tea dye, as you can see. So this looks a little more cloudy than some of the other teas that I presented, mostly because it's overly concentrated per the water ratio. And of course, I did add vinegar and salt to it. So once again, you may have thought that the egg produced was going to be a harsh green, but it is gorgeous and lovely and quite light. This is a very light green color. Again, one of my favorites, especially if you're hoping for a pastel style Easter egg basket. This is definitely one of my favorites. Keeping in mind, I do acknowledge the fact that matcha is more expensive than loose leaf tea. So if you don't already have it, don't use it. But if you find in the back of your pantry that you have some matcha from like 5 years ago, you might not want to drink it. Save it for Easter. Save it for the colored Easter eggs because I think it is fun. Today, friends, this happens to conclude my presentation. I'm going to hang out here, make sure I haven't missed any questions. If you're watching live, feel free to ask them. It just occurred to me recently that when you are on the app and you ask a question, I can't just respond to you the way I can if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. If you ask a question on one of those platforms, I can always get back to you. But if you're on the app and you ask a question, I'd have to email you. And sometimes emails get lost in cyberspace. So I'm going to take this time to go back, read all the comments to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Thank you for watching. If you didn't see, I wanted to make sure that you know that our next new tea collection launches on Sunday, April 24th. It is going to be 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We will be bringing back our Willy Wonka inspired tea flavors. They launched last year to huge success. Everybody loved them. So I wouldn't dare touch those recipes. You will see them all again. They're coming on April 24th. And do invite your friends to our video, because if we get over 100 live viewers during our launch party, our launch video, we'll pick somebody to win the entire combo pack. So they'd get a teapot and teacups and all 6 flavors of tea. And if you are thinking like I think, there's even going to be a golden ticket possibility. Just like last year, we gave away 5 golden tickets. You got to buy the tea in order to have a chance at the golden ticket, just like the candy bars. And the lucky winner of the golden ticket gets a full year free shipping. So I want to say good luck to everyone. And that's a good enough reason to invite your friends, right? If you think they might be into the tea, I think free shipping for a year sounds pretty good. Okay, Karen says, peel eggs by cracking all around, then peel under a small stream of cold water. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I do want to hear if anyone has ever used the air fryer. People like the easy peel. Okay, I'm sorry, this is probably really boring for you guys to watch, but if you had asked a question, make sure you stick around and I'm going to answer it live. Okay. Molly did say the hibiscus should be red. I know, it's very surprising, isn't it? The jelly beans is definitely one of my favorite. Yes, yes it is. Okay. Sorry guys, this is taking me long, but I love how many comments I have. I love you guys. This is great. Andrea just said thank you, that she liked the segment. Okay. Tiffany said she was jumping to Facebook. Elizabeth, she needs a good chai again. That digestive blend. Okay, Kim says that was fun. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, Elizabeth, a good chai. Elizabeth, the easiest way to tell you about our chais, you can do a search for chai. You're going to see that we do have a chai gift set in which I list 6 flavors that are both called chai and taste like chai, like have similar ingredients. So you might want to start there, see which one of them fits you, because we have caffeine-free chai, we have low caffeine, we have high caffeine, we have mate. So we have it all. So I don't want to just recommend without knowing what caffeine content you're interested in. And digestive blend, Elizabeth, you might want to consider our Peace of Mind. Definitely helpful for healthy gut and stuff. Tiffany says, do you have videos of YouTube of how to make a matcha tea? Yes, Tiffany, I have. I have at least 2, if not 4, videos specifically on matcha, where I do more extensive demonstrations on how to make a matcha drink, how to use the tea accessories that we sell, so you know how to use them, you know what you're getting into. And we do currently still have flavors of matcha, because I drink matcha every day and I don't like to be bored. So we have some really good matchas. And again, oh, Tiffany, more importantly though, our matcha is culinary grade, which means that you can consume it on a daily basis. So you're going to find, once you do your research, that there's typically 7 to 8 different categories or grades of matcha. And there's matcha that people might use like for a frosting of a cake or something, or to add to like a culinary thing where they're just adding a tiny pinch to a cocktail to make it green or something like that. That's not something that you would it's a much lower grade. Okay, so that's why our quality is where it is, because I consume it every day, and that's where our price point is. So when you're comparing different types of matcha, it's not just the name. Okay, lots of good quality that you're going to want to check on that. Okay. Thank you, Miss Tiffany. I think I got through everyone's questions. Again, you can always private message us on Facebook or Instagram, or of course send us an email. Happy to, help you out privately, so you're not feeling like you're asking your questions in front of a live audience or anything like that. Thank you, friends. I'll see you on Thursday, and chances are I'm going to do a video on Easter Sunday too. I'll already have makeup on, so might as well. Thanks for watching, friends. Have a fabulous day, no matter what you do with the rest of your day. Have yourself a cup of tea and take care of you. Bye-bye, friends.